Hey guys, this is Joe Diamond, and you're listening to Unreal Radio on AM 1050 WLIP, WLIP.com, the WLIP smartphone app, or wherever you can download podcasts. This is my Skype interview with the legendary Uri Geller. We did this over Skype. The audio quality is not at the level at which I wanted it to be, but it's still a really great talk, and I really learned a lot, and I think a lot of other people can learn a lot from this interview as well. So I'm putting it up in as many different forms as possible so everyone can listen to it in real time. I'll stop talking and just introduce you to my interview with the legendary Mystifier, Uri Geller. All right.
Are you starting to record now?
Yes. Yeah, it's going. All right, I'll do a recorded intro and everything as well.
Okay, but I will just add that here we are. I'm in Old Jaffa in Israel, a few thousands of miles away from you, Joe, and we're doing a Skype interview.
Yes,
and I'm very happy to be on your radio show too.
Oh, thank you.
So you go ahead and fire the questions.
Thank you so much. Uri. I appreciate it. Again, this is a dream come true. I've been a fan of yours since I was a little kid. I've read your books. I got the DVD set. I know a lot of your life story is out there for anyone to see in a lot of different mediums. So I wanted to kind of just be selfish and ask you a couple questions that I had.
Absolutely. And don't worry about asking me controversial questions. You may ask whatever you want.
Well, let's start off with the controversy. So you had a quote talking about how it was the skeptics that made you a household name, and I thought that was a huge life-changing quote for me. By the way, I really took that to heart. But that was from a couple of years ago. So I'm curious, if you meet someone for the first time, maybe they haven't heard of you or they don't know what it is that you do, and they're a little skeptical. What do you say to those skeptics?
That's a very good question. Look, when they ask me about, I'll say straight out. Let's say I meet somebody really skeptical and he says to me, and I've been asked this question a million times, Uri Geller, are you real or not? Do you have supernatural powers, or are you just a good magician or a mediocre magician, as some magicians say? I'm very, very open about sitting on the fence, meaning I always say, most of the time I say, you make up your mind. Go to my website, watch the documentaries about my life, watch the CIA film, read the CIA documents, and then you make up your own mind. And the reason I'm doing that, and by the way, Joe, this is important, you will never, ever hear me say, even in the past, because skeptics try to twist and churn my words and put words in my mouth and all that, I've never, ever said that I'm a magician. Never. And so I let the mystery live. I continue to draw fire. Maybe sometimes I cross the line. I admit that, and I say shamelessly. But that's a trait. That's something that you've got to do if you want to create longevity. You know, as you get older, you will see that you'll have to find ways to reinvent yourself. If you haven't made a big name for yourself, then all through your life, if you stick to mentalism and if you'll stay a magician, you'll always have to come up with something new in order to interest people, in order to become curious for others, and because then you will simply blend into the hundreds of thousands of magicians who do weddings and bar mitzvahs and cruise ships. You always want to try to push yourself above that and do something that is controversial and let them talk about you. So that's the essence of my, I guess, existence and longevity.
Wonderful. Well, You truly have a gift, because my next question was what is the key to longevity? So you answered both questions.
Did you actually write the word longevity?
Yes, yep, right there.
Now that is now
Okay.
what you see. This is a great example of how I grab this moment and say, of course, I did it telepathically.
Yes, but we had
the same with the skull.
Yes. Let's hold these up again, because I actually thought about this. Is it okay if I try and get a screenshot? Because for the people listening at home, I want to show a photo of this. Right next to where Uri is talking with us, he has an alien skull, and I have an alien skull. His is much nicer than mine. I'm gonna.
But you see, this is very interesting, Joe, because although I would say 99.9% of magicians will call this a coincidence, I call it synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
And let me explain. Carl Jung, the famous philosopher, coined the word synchronicity, which means that everything in the universe happens for a reason. Now, I don't know you. I had no idea that you had a skull. I had no idea that you wrote down the word longevity. But the fact is that we both brought it up. Maybe, and here is where I enter the realms of the mysterious. I say, well, because this happened, because I saw longevity, it must be telepathy. Most magicians would debunk this, but ordinary people, yes, will say, wow, this guy really can see what's in my house. So let me just add one more element to this. If you guys were listening to us now, and girls, if you want to validate what I just said, just go to my website and watch The Secret Life of Uri Geller, which is a BBC production, and very carefully look at Kit Green, who was a high-ranking officer in the CIA. He was sitting in Langley, Virginia, and I was in Palo Alto. Now, we're talking about the early 70s. There was no Skype. There were no iPads. There was no Instagram. There is no Facebook. There is no Twitter. There is an old-fashioned phone like this one here.
Ah, yes.
See, this is the mushy. It's made now, but this is how the old-fashioned phones look. Mm-hmm. And he says to me, one of the scientists said, Dr. Hal Puthoff said, you know, Kit, Uri Geller can see things at a distance. And Kit Green, sitting in Langley, Virginia, skeptical CIA agent, says, no, he can't. And Hal Puthoff says to him, yes, he can. Actually, I have Uri Geller next to me. And he hands me the phone. And Kit Green, you know, I can't exactly remember his words, but he said something on these lines. He says to me, I have a book in my hand. Remember, no iPads, no Skype. Mm-hmm. Can you describe me what I'm looking at? And I just drew something that looks like scrambled eggs. But then I got a word, a very specific word coming very strongly. And I always carry, at those times there were no Sharpies, so I had a very thick black marker. And I wrote on the page that looked like a scrambled egg, that was my drawing, I wrote the word architecture. Architecture. Kit Green freaked out because he wrote architecture on that page. He was doing something for the CIA, some virus infection, whatever. So one has to ask the question, I mean, come on, this must be real. And I'll let it go at this. So you people, by the way, is this radio interview live? Or
we are not live. I can cut this up if you need to.
No, you didn't understand me. Okay. Are they going to see us talk?
Oh, no, they're just going to hear it.
It's just, okay.
Yeah.
So then one must ask, even if you're a highly qualified magician, you're amazing, you're a David Blaine or Copperfield or Chris Angel, you've got to ask the question, how did Uri Geller do that? Can you explain?
I'll be the first to admit I can't. I'll be the first to admit that.
There is one last example. There are many, but another example that is, you cannot do it with a trick. That's what I'm saying. When England played Scotland, soccer, and they asked me to help England beat Scotland, so I was placed in a helicopter flying around Wembley, and please see that also on my website. It's a BBC film. And when Gary McAllister, a striker for Scotland, got a penalty, I in the helicopter said, I've got to move the ball away from his foot. And I screamed out in the helicopter, 1, 2, 3, move. Lo and behold, the ball moved away from his foot.
I have seen the footage of that, and it is quite uncanny seeing, and you hear the people from the team say, yeah, that thing just moved. Like,
yeah. You know, Joe, if these things are tricks, if Kid Green CIA is a trick, and if the ball moving is a trick, then I am the best magician in the world.
You know what? I'm going to say you absolutely. I mean, yes. I mean that's the other thing that I think the skeptics never really address. It's like, if you're pulling all this off, even if it is a trick, you are the best magician in the world.
Well, you know, one of my chief debunker was a guy called James Randi, and I'll never forget how I walked into a trap on Johnny Carson. Things didn't happen. I thought I was destroyed. Actually, that show showed me that there's no such thing as bad publicity. Because Johnny Carson tried to. I mean, I was humiliated on that show, and the next day I was planning to go back to Israel when I got a phone call from Merv Griffin in the morning saying, Uri, I saw you last night on Johnny Carson. I want you on my show tomorrow. So going back to the debunkers. Even the great James Randi gave me an amazing quote. It's so amazing that it's on my website. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the best quote out of all the quotes, endorsements that I got from magicians. So have a look at all those quotes. They're interesting.
I absolutely shall. This is something you can explain this one of two ways. You can explain it as if you're telling someone else, or me or anyone else who might be listening, or you can just use yourself as an example. But you've got quite a niche. You've got quite a niche of spoon bending, and again, if you are the world's greatest magician, you've done so with, again, even a very limited repertoire. So how does one carve out a niche, do you feel?
Joe, I'm bewildered of how I managed. Doesn't matter now if it's real or not. Let's not even go there.
Absolutely.
But how I managed to instill spoon bending into world culture. From The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, the little child teaching him how to bend the spoon, to I'm boasting now and maybe dropping some names, to George Clooney, who plays me in a movie, Robert De Niro plays me, Johnny Cash sings about spoon bending, Incubus mentions me. So that is the phenomenon here. Yes. Because my repertoire is very, very narrow. I do this is it, and that's it. But answering your question, when I did my very successful television series called The Next Uri Geller, on NBC it was called Phenomenon. In many different countries it was called The Successor. I did it for 10 years until I was tired. I couldn't take it anymore. It was from one country to another. And I was sitting on this big chair and I was watching mentalists perform in front of me. But what I was looking for is the three most important things, and if you're magicians or mentalists and you hear me now, learn this. This is imperative. I was looking for charisma, I was looking for character, and I was looking for personality. And only after that, Joe, I was looking at the act itself. Because if you have charisma, if you have personality and character, you will be liked, no matter what you do. And that is a secret. You have to look cool, you have to dress cool, you have to take care of yourself. When I say take care of yourself, very few people will tell you, Joe, fix your teeth. or get a good aftershave, or promote yourself, or push yourself. And that is, the package is making sure that you are presented to the audience in a fantastic manner. And then you can do whatever you want to do. You saw the woman in half, or take a rabbit out of a hat. But those are the things, your own self, your own look, your own body. You don't have to be handsome to make it. You can be ugly, but if you have personality and you've got charisma, you will win the audience over.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that. One of the things that I loved, again, I've seen several of the documentaries, and
one second.
Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Out of curiosity, you talked a little bit about this in your talk at FISM on the DVD.
Yes.
But I'm curious. I want to go into a little bit more detail, maybe, and because again, this is a strange set of skills. But what particularly drew you to show business? I know you did male modeling, and I know this. You saw this as a great opportunity. Was it something you fell into, or was what drew you into?
What drew me into show business is poverty. Poverty. We had nothing. My mother was a seamstress. She was a waitress. My parents divorced. She took me to Cyprus, where I saw war, people getting killed. I saw brains blown up. I saw body parts. Came back to Israel, continued being poor, and I discovered, by the way, and this is a true story, I have no interest to lie to you, I actually discovered spoonbending at a very, very young age. I was 5 or 6, when a spoon actually bent in my hand. Don't ask me how. I don't know how. But that's how spoonbending was born in my mind. No one else could do it. I was showing off in school with it. I created I'll call it an act, a demonstration of reading minds, of moving the hands of a clock, and I started materializing a show, a demonstration, although very narrow, very little things, few things, but they astounded people more than disappearing the Eiffel Tower, the statue, the Liberty statue, because sometimes smaller things are much more personal, and there are things that happen every day, and you connect to it more. You have affinity with it. And when I discovered that I leave people with dropped jaws, I realized that this is what will make me rich and famous. And that's how it all started.
Gotcha. So, do you remember? This might be a little too specific, but do you remember what how did you introduce those shows? Did you have other people call you a performer? Did you?
I'll tell you how it happened.
Okay.
When I was a male model, one day I bent a spoon or a key for a photographer. He freaked out and he said, "Uri, I don't know how you did this. Nobody will believe me," he says. "I'm giving a house party tonight. Will you come and demonstrate your powers?" And I said, "Yes, how much are you going to pay me?" Because I knew, hey, maybe this is another way besides getting paid for modeling. And he immediately made out a check. And I thought, wow, I'm getting paid for a show in a house. And I left everyone astonished in this little party. So the word started going out. Uri Geller, a young model, but wait, he can also bend spoons with his mind, and he reads people's thoughts. So I began to go to these house parties. I was invited because the word was out. And these house parties began to become more prestigious, from photographers to lawyers, from lawyers to judges' homes, from judges to generals. And then one day, the Prime Minister of Israel was in one of these house parties. Her name was Golda Meir. She's an American. And I say, now is my chance. So I walk over to her and I hand her a marker and a piece of paper. and I tell her, go to the toilet, close the door, and do a secret drawing. And when you come out, don't show it to anyone, look into my eyes and I'll read your mind. She said nobody can read my mind, but she went to the toilet. She closed the door. And you know, Joe, I say this all the time. I'm the only person in the world that ever sent a prime minister to the toilet on command. So she comes out, I take another piece of paper, and I just basically drew exactly what she drew. She drew the Star of David. It was the same size, millimetric. And the next day was the beginning of my career, because she was being interviewed on Israeli radio, and the presenter asked her, Prime Minister Golda Meir, what do you predict for the future of Israel? And she just said without hesitation, don't ask me, ask Uri Geller. That was it.
There you go.
The phone started ringing from major impresarios and managers.
Wonderful.
And that's how I got onto the big stage.
So real quick, I want to go back a little bit. And you do not have to go into a specific amount, but do you think part of your success of going to that, did you just say to all these parties, how much will you pay me? Did you just ask them to give you an offer, basically,
Yes.
instead of giving a price?
I like that. Listen, I was a young man after the army. I fought in the 6-day war. I was wounded. I killed a person face to face, a Jordanian soldier. So I was screwed up. Well, I killed him because if I didn't, you wouldn't be talking to me now. By the way, there is another synchronicity here that I'm just picking up. You showed me the tree before.
Yes.
And I showed you the skull.
Yes.
There is another thing on this ledge, the window ledge, that I've just put two and two together. Let me show you what it is. It is a crow, but it is, you see, it's a piece of wood.
It's on a tree branch, just like on the tree painted behind me, there's an owl.
Behind you. Behind you is the same.
Yeah, here, hold that up. I gotta take a screenshot of that too.
That's a tree branch, and you got an owl.
Like that's 3 for 3. That's enough.
On the other side, there is a very clean cut. What is this called in English? I forgot. A sling.
Oh, slingshot. Yes.
Yeah, this is that a sling. See? Look.
Yes. Oh wow.
The cross sits on a piece of branch,
Yep.
which is a sling, and it was made by the son of Moshe Dayan, the general, who was actually the prime minister also of Israel.
Wow.
So that's now 3 out of 3.
That is 3 out of 3. You know what? There you go. That's it.
Amazing.
It's 3. They say you gotta repeat it 3 times, and we just did in the span of a half hour.
This is really freaky. I just noticed because I looked at the drawing of that tree behind you, and I say, wait a minute, that's the branch.
Yeah.
And it's
wow.
right here.
That's perfect. That is again close enough. Here, hold up the skull one more time. I want to get a photo of that. Yeah, there we go. Hold it up. 1, 2, 3. All right.
And you see it's elongated.
Yeah, hold it up a little bit more, just a little tiny bit more. Oh, right there. Don't move. Oh, up a little bit more. Up a little bit more. There we go. All right. Perfect. There we go. Three levels of synchronicity. I only have one more real question, and that is, it's technically 2. For you, why spoons? And for everyone else, why spoons? What do you think it is about particularly spoon bending?
Because, Joe, that's what exactly I told you a few minutes ago, that I was eating soup.
Yes.
In our kitchen, not far from here. I'm looking at the flight of a bird. It must be maybe 3 miles from here, the street where I was. I was born in that area of Tel Aviv, and the spoon bent in my hand and broke. And that's when that idea materialized in my mind. And you know, Joe, maybe it took off like fire, because if you come to think of it, for 6,000 years, nobody bent metal with the power of their mind. So I suddenly bring something so freaky, so bizarre, so unusual to the world, and I call it real. So in the beginning of my career, I said everything I do is real. Today, I say you make up your own mind. Mm-hmm. And that's a difference. I have to learn. I have to, again, adjust myself. I have to reinvent myself. So that's a very good lesson for all of you who are listening, is to find, first of all, tell me, Joe, is your show geared for magicians and mentalists, or who is your target audience?
I perform for bread and butter, blue collar folks out here. One thing that's sort of taken off in the U.S. here is escape rooms. I don't know. Yeah. So, and those are intimate, interactive experiences with a small group of people in a room. My show is very much a tiny escape room, but you're in a room with a man who's going to read your mind and give you readings. So I think my theory is that the rubber band or the pendulum is swinging the opposite direction. We got so caught up with high tech, we now want high touch. We got so used to, yep, absolutely. We got so used to doing things on technology, by ourselves. We want that group experience again.
I got it. Another little synchronicity is my successor in Israel is a fantastic mentalist called Lior Sushar.
Yes.
He's been on Jay Leno. He's now with Barbara Streisand. He met everyone from Bill Gates to Donald Trump, everyone. Mm-hmm. And Lior actually opened maybe a couple of months ago an escape room in Tel Aviv.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, but
that's really, really cool.
He doesn't perform there. He just, I think he opened it as a business.
Yes.
By the way, what type of phone do you have?
I believe this is an iPhone 6.
This is the same iPhone, I think.
I think yours is a little bit bigger.
6. Mine is an iPhone 7.
Yes, I get my upgrade in 2 months. So so there we go. Yeah, that's.
And I love the Ouija board back there.
Oh, thank you. Yes. It keeps people from stealing it.
Let's do telepathy.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see if I'll be right. Let me just grab. I'll take a Kleenex box. Chippy, can you give me a marker from there? I'm going to write. Wait, hold on. I'm getting a marker.
Okay.
I'm going to write here a letter that I picked out of that Ouija board behind your phone.
Okay.
And let's see if you can guess what it is.
Okay.
Don't close your eyes.
Okay.
I'm writing it now, and nobody can see me write it because I'm writing it behind the Kleenex box. And okay, I wrote it. Now, open your eyes.
Okay.
Open your eyes. I'm holding the box. I'm looking at the letter. You look at your Ouija board. You know, this is a far out. You know, it's it's a long shot. But look at your Ouija board on your iPhone, and I'm now repeating the letter in my mind.
Okay.
Listen in your inner ear.
Okay.
I'm shouting it out. Look at your Ouija board again.
Okay, I'm looking right at it.
Look at your Ouija board again.
Okay.
No, yes, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it again. Okay, let it go now. Put the phone. Okay. Don't say it yet, but did you feel anything? Be truthful to me. Did you feel anything or not?
I did. I kind of, when you first said you were writing a letter, I got something, but I got something when you told me to actually look at the board, something else felt stronger.
Okay, let's see if this worked. If it worked, that is far out.
Yes.
If it didn't, we did a nice experiment.
Yes, yeah.
I was sending you a letter And now you say it out loud, and then I'll show you what I was sending you.
Okay, I got T.
No, I was sending you K.
Okay. Here's the thing. I was okay. So we got K. All right. So all right, but here's the thing though. I went around at first I thought when I looked at it, I didn't see the letter in the board. I saw the U in Ouija, and
Yes.
I went over to my first initial, which is J, which is right next to the K, and I was like, okay, no, I don't want. Like, I tried not to think like a mentalist, be like, okay, no, don't go for like what would be easy and be forced and everything else. I did truly just go for it.
But I bet with you that probably lots of your listeners will say, wow, I got it.
Yeah.
Joe, we'll finish the interview by saying this.
Yes.
I believe in telepathy, but I also believe in intuition. I'm sure that most of us, we're human beings, and animals also have intuitive powers or energies, call it whatever. And I do believe that people who are intuitive can actually sharpen their telepathical abilities. So what I'm saying is this, that people who debunk telepathy, in my opinion, are wrong, because telepathy does exist.
Yes.
And what is your opinion about that?
I feel my opinion is amazing things happen every single day. We just brush most of them off as just a coincidence, or us talking through a screen across the world in real time right now. Like, we're in a science fiction movie right now. Like, come on, this is more amazing than us getting a letter when you really think about it. Like, this is and we're connecting as human beings. To me, that's the most important thing. And I think if you connect with people and everything else, I think we could, if we work more on connecting with people, we could live in a world where telepathy wouldn't be needed.
Absolutely. So listen, Joe. First of all, it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My last question. At this stage of your life, are you happy?
I will admit there are some areas in my life that I am working very hard to change. I am working on improving my health. I'm working on my girlfriend and I are talking about the future and everything else, and next step as far as that goes. But that said, with my career, my radio show, I mean, I'm talking with you.
Joe, when you say you're trying to improve your health, what you don't have an ailment, do you?
No. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to.
You have to improve. You have to basically lose weight.
Yeah. I'm going back to vegetarian. I'm going back to being a vegetarian.
Great. I'm a vegetarian vegan. You have to walk a lot.
Yep.
Maybe 2 or 3 times a week, go to a gym.
Okay.
And just watch what you're eating.
Yes. So I a couple years ago, I actually I was heavier than I even am now, and I lost a lot of weight just from doing a month of vegetarian. Just a month.
Fantastic.
And I felt better. And I will admit I slip back in, and I occasionally slip out, but I'm setting up in my head like, okay, this is
it's going to be
important.
It's probably for you. It might be a little more difficult because probably when you were a child, you were a little heavy child, right?
When I was really young, I was skinny, but when I hit like 9, I became a heavy child.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just adhere to that. And I'm sure that next year we make a deal that if you lose a lot of pounds, we'll do another interview.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
The deal.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I accept your challenge, Uri Geller. All right. Thank you.
God bless. Lots of love to you and to all your listeners.
Thank you so much, Uri. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was my interview with Uri Geller. Please check out all my social media. I'm at Joe Diamond Live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube. Also, please check out my website, joediamondlive.com. Also, be sure to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/Unreal Radio Show, where you can find out all the details about upcoming radio broadcasts. Thank you to everyone for checking this out, and thank you for listening.